forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns, that can hold no water.
That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip.
Drip, 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 Christ's blood on the cross. Or should I say a tree? Galatians 3 and 13. He redeemed us from the curse of the law. That's why we spread in this truth. The new covenant has no flaws. The gospel, spreading the good news through your system. Yeah, you feel it right now. It was our people who had to kill him. Man, they should have piped down. They pierced his side with a spear and blood and water came out. Rose on the third day and his body was nowhere to be found. Where did he go? Where did he go? Where did he hide? Where did he hide? He's dwelling within. He said the kingdom is inside. Open your eyes. Open your eyes and remove that veil. The spirit forever. There's no dripping, you burning in hell.
Heaven in the building, salute, man.
Watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip.
Many would say they Hamashiach. Pay attention, they just prophet lying. If you don't know the signs when they talk, you will be in the ditch with the blind. If you come sip on this H2O, I promise that you'll never thirst again. You know what I got is that straight drop. Cause my plug pushed it, yeah, they murdered him. Everclear, Hennessy, that's what the whole world be sipping on. Real Judah, my whole team, that's who live in water dripping on. You hear that slow drip it to wake you up, and I let you go back to sleep again. In that water's where I find the prophets. I guess I'm something like a fisherman. Elijah had water through droughts. Higher put food in his mouth. He gave salvation to a Gentile, cause she let the prophet in her house. That means that drip is for everybody. Don't get caught up in religion. We need water to be purified. So how you got drip without baptism?
That's the word for the night.
Living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. That prophet got living water, watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip. Watch it drip, drip.
Welcome to the Hebrew state of being. We are your humble servants and hosts for tonight. I am Kayel, and in the building, I got the young Ak, Jordan, the young hunter, the young warrior, Jordan. How you doing tonight, my brother?
Ready to be friends.
That's what I'm talking about. My brother say he's ready to read the scripture. It's got to be Shabbat Shalom. You know what I'm saying? It is the only time you can feel the joyous. You know what I'm saying? We are understanding how wonderful this night is. What blessings this night, the barakas rather, that this night brings. That we are in commune with the holy ones, with the Most High, right? And, tonight, man, we are continuing our series on the law, Leviticus. We are in part 6 tonight. We are dealing with chapters 11 and 12. I have a song here that's supposed to be popping up, but It is, yeah. I want to make sure that there we go. I'm gonna put that on pause though, because it's about celebrating the Shabbat, man. And let me see. It's about celebrating the Shabbat. And, you know, this is, I just want to celebrate it, man. I don't even know, man. It's like you got to understand sometimes, man, you have to, when you realize what water you're in, you know, like the song says, you know, that prophet got living waters, watch it drip, drip. Basically, what that's speaking to is the wonder and the glory of Yasha, and that whoever is hungry, whoever thirsts, can come to him. Yeah, can come to him and have these living waters of purification. And when you realize what a magnitude that is, when we really meditate upon what this world is, and the fact that we have this day set aside that's a covenant that's guaranteed of this peace and this shalom, as we say. When you realize that these waters can purify all that you've done, that these words, this time, wow, when you sit back and meditate on the gravity of that, to me, it's extremely humbling, and it's being so Torah Rabbah. It's being thankful. These glasses are not cooperating. They're staying foggy. I may need a new lens cleaner. So I want to play this song to celebrate that, because when you realize that this is the day that you commune with the Most High, then you may have the question about what everybody's doing on Sunday. And well, you know, as we're talking about the law and we're dealing with the law enforcement and the government of today, we are connecting those people to the same people that have this Sunday worship and this Sunday law. They are the one and the same people. And our law is Leviticus. Their law is not that. So, you know, this song will tell it to you. Oh, you know it.
Truth music. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, y'all need to wake up, Israel, for real.
What you ain't know that was the devil did. What you ain't know that was the devil did. What you ain't know that was the devil did. What you ain't know. What you ain't know. What you ain't know that was
That's the best time of the week. My love is down. As she walks into the building, I'll praise everybody who's in.
I know one day it's gonna go down for real. I know one day people is gonna get killed for what they believe in. Women and even children. That ain't my word, that's what the Bible say. You don't believe cause your mind reprobate. You take your kids to go get vaccinated. They get sick and you get scared. On Sunday you go pray to Satan. What you ain't know that was the devil's day. Where in the book it say forget the sad shrimp, crab, lobster, swine, all that y'all can have. See all you preachers, there's a judgment for you. Holding the gavel is Yeshaya and he coming for you. And when he comes, tell me what you gon' say. What you ain't know that was the devil's day. What you ain't know that was the devil's day. What you ain't know that was the devil's day.
But the wine in the building, I'm ready for fire.
What you ain't know. What you ain't know that was the devil's day. What you ain't know that was the devil's day. What you ain't know that was the devil's day. What you ain't know. What you ain't know. Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Halloween. All them days pagan, also Easter and Dr. King Day. What you didn't know, those was the devil day. I gotta tell you, cause today might be that day.
Yeah,
yes,
man.
sir, it's real Judah. That shine here, straight shooter. It's interchangeable. Take it how you want, cause either way, I'ma get it to you. I'm trying to tell you what you need to know. I can't tell you where you gotta go, but if you follow the holidays, keep the Sabbath of a rock, she will guide you, bro. It's easy if you think about it, just gotta use common sense. But even listen to the rap music nowadays, common don't use common sense. They fighting to lose, I'm fighting to win. They trying to tell you it's okay to sin. You better change it up, get right within. I don't care if you make what you ain't gon' win. Pop bomb gon' be gone. Me and my family gon' be gone. Luckily, PZ and the family on the same thing, I'll be on. Shabbat Shalom, we keep it home. I'm praying for you, just stay focused. Get in that word, stay on it. Now you can't say that you didn't know it. What you ain't know that was the devil did. What you ain't know that was the devil did. What you ain't know that was the devil did. What you ain't know. What you ain't know. What you ain't know that was the devil did.
We on the good side with the Most High today. We are high. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Welcome to the children. You ain't no Sunday with the devil.
They celebrated Christmas before Christ was born. I thought they celebrated Christmas because Christ was born. They celebrated Easter before Christ was dead. I thought they celebrated because he rose from the dead. What you ain't know that was the devil dead.
So many lies. Y'all ain't know that was Nimrod's birthday, December 25th.
Why your preacher ain't teaching that? Why your teacher ain't preaching that? Philosophical sermons is what they give to you. It's like they satanic service is what I'm saying to you. Look, I'm taking back our book. It's ours. I don't refuse to be taught by pedophiles, thieves, and sodomites. Look, all you preachers, there's a judgment for you. Holy gavel is Yeshaya, and he coming for you. I got a question for Creflo Dollars and TDJs. What y'all ain't know that was the devil day? What you ain't know that was the devil day? What you ain't know that was the devil day? What you ain't know that was the devil day? What you ain't know? What you ain't know? What you ain't know that was the devil day?
Oh, praise to the Most High.
What you ain't know that
Yes.
was the devil day?
God,
What you ain't know?
God, I was y'all faith. I'm the anointed. That's right. You see what you repeat now. Yes. Mention that Catholic Church. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. We already did the intro. I just, man, had to play the song so we could get in the right vibration for tonight, man. We are talking about his law. We are talking about clean and unclean. Sunday would be unclean. Shabbat would be clean. Simple. We can end the show right there, right? What'd you say, Joe? We should go a little bit further. We should go more. Way more further. I agree with you, young man. That's the wisdom of a young man. We are getting into Leviticus tonight, right? We are talking about clean and unclean. We've been going through 1 through 10 and our parts of the series, which comes to 1 through 5, right? So we are going to complete all of Leviticus because we need to know that it is the law is what keeps us holy. The law is what keeps us clean. And no, not the United States law. No, not the laws of your Google terms and conditions. That's not the law, right? The law is Leviticus. Now, yes, you know, for anybody that's new tonight, we have to give the disclaimer that though we are reading Leviticus and we have read about the installing of Aaron and his sons who became the tribe of Levites, which the book is named after Leviticus, right? Because they were the law. Their tribe was the law. So we know when Yasha came, his sacrifice was to do away with aspects of the law. But more importantly, he did away with the Levitical priesthood. We have to understand that the priesthood went Greek and Roman and became the Sanhedrin. It became a profanity of what it was created. The actual Levites had gone astray in BC and were replaced by Greek and Romans in 167 BC. Many of us know about that time as the Maccabean time. Right now, you have many of the Khazarian Ashkenazis that are celebrating the Feast of Dedications right now. To them, it is known as Hanukkah. Now, there is no Hebrew word for this feast because this is not a feast that was set out by the Father or Yasha. Why? Maccabean. Because this celebration is when the Romans, rather the Greeks, rededicated the second temple. Remember, Cyrus allowed us to come back and rebuild the temple as Hebrews. We're not talking about that time. We rebuilt it, right? And then it was sacked again, or we went through an issue, and then it was rededicated. The rededication of that second temple is what they are celebrating. But those people were not us, because that was after the revolt, right? It was the revolt of then, there was the Maccabees, they called Judas, Maccabees, Mattathias, and all of them. It was their revolt against the Romans, right? Well, they were Greek Hebrews, not now I'm going to say they were Greek following the Torah, the Septuagint. They were Greeks following the Septuagint, and they decided to not do this desecration and abomination, and they went into war. We were dispersed. We were already dispersed. So there were still many of us in the land, but this was not us that took over. The Levites never came back. Ezra speaks about the fact that we scrambled out after the second temple and nobody came back. But actually, the Maccabees, the Greeks and the Romans sent for Levites and sent for those priests to come in and teach them how to hold the temple. Ooh. How about that for history? How about understanding that they had to call the Levites in to tell them how to worship in the temple that was not theirs? So you see, when Yasha came, he tore down that Levitical order and told everyone that that is not the official order of me. Actually, we're going to go to the Melchizedek order. We're not going to have anything to do with that Sanhedrin, Sadducees, Pharisees that were fighting in the temple. The Essenes that were there, they left and created the Dead Sea Scrolls. Right? So, understanding that, we're still reading the book of Leviticus because the book of Leviticus is the law and it has deeper meanings. Like as we get into now, because the earlier chapters we were talking about the installing of the priesthood, whereas we just stated that priesthood is no longer installed. So now we're actually getting to the laws that came from them, because the laws weren't imperfect, the people were imperfect. The laws were not imperfect, the people were imperfect. That's a theme that we should really recognize, that in this, that it was the people, not the law of the Most High. Many naysayers, many people that are not of faith or belief or understanding, have an eye to see or an ear to hear, they will say and take and poke at this and say, well, hey, you're following things that are not true anymore. The Catholic Church tells us that the law is done away with and everybody's got grace. Why would you look at these things? Why would you pay attention to these Levitical laws? The outsiders, the naysayers would say that, how can a woman be unclean when she gives birth? They will say that is crazy. A woman is giving birth. She's bringing life. How can a woman be unclean through the process of giving birth. Well, if you don't know nothing about giving birth, which most men do not, then you don't understand the inner workings of a woman. And you don't understand that this law was laid for a woman, not for you. But the ones that want to take shots at Scripture and take shots at Leviticus, they will look at it from the outside by just reading it. And it is told to us by the prophets that this is not a book to be read, but a book to live by. It's a big difference from reading and living by. When you live by something, then you're actually doing it. When you read something, you have a knowledge of it. And it's two different things. If I am a planter, right, a farmer, I can read many books, all the almanacs that I choose to about planting and growing. But until and I know Esther can be a witness to this, that until you actually go and try to plant and grow something, there are nuances that are not in the book. There are things that you have to do that is not written in the book. So there are nuances to growing. It's the same thing with reading the law. The reason why we must read the law is for those nuances, for those things that give us growth through our temple, through our spirit, through our walk. So, yes, naysayers, this is a Leviticus 11 and 12 are the two major chapters that the world goes against. It is the food, the dietary, what we should eat that is clean for a clean body, because the Most High says he's holy and you are his seed. So therefore, he wants you to be as holy as possible. So he has provided a food for you that would be cleansed food, clean food, to go into his temple. If he does not want a pig sacrificed in his temple, and you are his temple, then why would he want you to put that abomination inside of your temple? And I see Iman's in the building, Shabbat Shalom, and she can speak to the planting thing as well. Just to give that parable, just to give that analogy again, the reason why we read these scriptures, even though the Levitical priesthood is out. Even though the Most High, Yasha only did away with that government of the Sanhedrin and of the temple, but not of his laws. That Yasha, his son, said that he came to fulfill the laws. So when we read this Levitical book, when we read the Levite book, we are not reading it like an outsider, a person that only reads about planting. We are reading it from a perspective of a person that is planting, a person that is learning the nuances of bringing life and growing, because you're growing your new person, because we kill our old man daily. So every day we're trying to grow the new person in Yasha, the new Jerusalem that we are looking for, the new temple that we're looking for, the everlasting waters that we are craving is within us that we're trying to grow. So Leviticus is going to give us those nuances because we are living by this book. We are putting it to practice. So therefore, cynicism doesn't fit. When things go awry, when we are following and walking, we must come back to our Shabbats and meditate on the Father and ask him where we went wrong in our process of planting, in our process of renewing and growing ourselves. So we're going to start off with Leviticus 11, verse 1. And the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, excuse me, guys, I cannot start it without blowing the shofar. And you already there? Oh, well, then I'm going to have to get you to read the first verse then. But let's do our shofar and call the holy congregation together. Yes. shalom. Shabbat shalom. Now we can come to order. So it says, and the Most High spake unto Moses and to Aaron, saying unto them, speak unto the children of Yasharale, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, that means a cuff in the hoof of the animal, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud, among the beasts that shall ye eat. So this is clear. In verse 3, this is what we're supposed to be eating of the field of the meat. Whatsoever parteth the hoof, and is cloven footed, and cheweth the cud among the beasts that shall ye eat. All right, so we're going to get into further, like Jordan said, we're going to get deeper. Nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that chew the cud, or of them that divide the hoof, as a camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof. He is unclean unto you. So there are a couple of outliers, as the scripture is letting us know, right? A couple of animals that may fit the order, but is not. And in 5, and it says, and the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, is unclean unto you. And the hare, which is a rabbit, because he cheweth the cud, but divided not the hoof, he is unclean unto you. And the swine, though he is divided in the hoof, the pig, and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Now many may be saying, what is the cud? Why is it that the cud is so important to a beast being clean? Well, see, any animal that chews the cud actually has extra digestive system than others, meaning that their food is clean. And the cud is actually a place where they store the food that they are eating, to where it doesn't actually go into the body where the chemicals are released and it starts to digest. They hold it. We'll get deeper into that. Yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. So a pig is unclean because he doesn't have the proper digestive system. His body does not clean which it eats. And then we also know that the pig eats off the ground. It eats anything. And it's pork, as Jordan says. Or their flesh shall ye not eat. I thought you were there. My brother wanted you to read. I thought you're at Leviticus 11.
Yeah, I thought I was at Leviticus 5, but actually at Exodus.
At Exodus? Okay. Are you at Leviticus now?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to get to it. I'm going to read 8 and 9. I want you to read Leviticus verse 10, chapter 11, verse 10. Okay. And it says, or their flesh ye not eat, and their carcasses ye shall not touch. They are unclean to you. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters, whatsoever hath fins, scales, in the waters, in the seas, and in the rivers, them shall ye eat. And you read
And all that
a
have
little bit louder. I want to make sure everybody can hear you.
and all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and
Of any
of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
Exactly. So as the young Jordan said, anything that doesn't have scales that's in the water, we should not eat. So shark, right? So I pulled up a little chart for you guys. To you like charts? Not that one.
What's chart?
So I got it right here. I had it right there. I Okay, give it to me. I got it right here. All right, so when we look at the unclean versus clean meats, right? We have first. I want to go to the cud. Here we go. Unclean animals, right? So mammals that chew the cud and part the hoof. So you got the antelope, the bison, the buffalo, cattle, beef, veal, caribou, deer, venison, elk, gazelle, giraffe, goat, hart, ibex, I don't know what that is, moose, ox, reindeer, sheep, lamb, mouton. So these are the animals that are walking the meats that we are able to eat. The unclean animals, coyote, dog, fox, hyena, jackal, wolf, cat, cheetah, can't eat any cats, leopards, lions, panthers, tigers, oh my, pigs, right? Donkeys, horses, mules, and so forth, right? So pull this up. These are things that are unclean for the hoofs and the cud. And when it comes to our fish, so there's a list of things that we are in the water that we can eat, from the drum to the flounder. Drum is one of my favorite, right? The kingfish, the mackerel, the mahi-mahi, minnows, the mullets, the perch, right? So we know all about indigenous people that ate perch back in the day. That is one. Pike, pollock, you got your rockfish, your salmon, sardines, which I'm not a fan of, and so forth. Tuna, of course, right? So when it comes to New Orleans, you know, this is going to be a little rough, right? Shellfish that we're not supposed to eat, abalone, the conch, which I used to love, the conch, crab, crawfish, yeah, lobsters, mussels, oysters, scallops, shrimp. That's just pretty much 90% of the food in New Orleans, right? Soft-bodied catfish, jellyfish, octopus, and squid, and sea mammals such as dolphins, otters, porpoise, seal, walrus, and whales, right? We're not supposed to eat that whale meat and things such as that, right? So I know that's a rough one for us in New Orleans, because these are our delicacies, and we always speak about, you know, understanding that your enemy, that you know, slavery was not, as they say, we worked for our wages, right? We worked for our housing, we worked for our clothes and our food. No, because we were a chosen people. We would not have chosen to eat the pig. We would not have chosen to eat these things. So we were in slavery, we're in captivity. And what we are talented, so thank goodness, our daughters of Zion, our imams, our big mamas were able to turn these abominations into delicacies. So the cuisine of New Orleans, of the South, because we understand that the South was heavily invaded by the Spanish and was enslaved heavily and brought slaves. Slaves were taken and slaves were brought all throughout the South, right? So these cuisines and this food, I see the building, Scott, these cuisines and these foods came out of our captivity because we couldn't eat what we were supposed to. The Father says that in this time that we're able to eat righteous, if he provides for you, if you are praying unto him, following the laws, he's like, Most High, this is the laws that you have set, and I'm trying to follow your laws, but these things cost more. These things cost more than I can afford, or I don't know how to acquire. Well, that's the Most High says this is part of the process of learning that I am real. This is part of the process of you learning, getting your skin in the game, by you deciding not to eat these things and allowing him to bring you the right things to eat. Standing on whether you fast if there's no food. To have self-control is the starting of the process of disciplining yourself, of that circumcising of your heart that we talk about. Food is the thing that we do the most. Food is the thing that we think about the less. We only think about it should taste good, right? But it's the thing that we put in our temple every day. Scientifically speaking, it has said that if you are eating certain things, it changes your behavior. That's from white sugar all the way to blood. it changes the way you act. It changes the way you think. Then if we understand that scientifically, then maybe we can give the glory unto the Most High that he foresaw this and gave us this dietary law so that we would think properly, that we would be healthy in his sight, that we would be making sacrifices of not eating the abominations and eating the proper offerings, then we are making a proper sacrifice and offering unto the Most High. So the Most High thought, Shalom, Big Chief in the building. So that flaming arrow. So, you know, when we are talking about what the Most High is doing, everybody wants to look at it as he's this warden, that he is bringing about this yoke upon our neck. Everything that we have dealt with in Leviticus has been to keep us clean. You have to know what is dirty to know what is clean. And then you have to know how to keep it clean. Anybody that tells you, you read or you look at any of these behind the scene things and they talk about these great performers and all the money that they have, and they say, well, you know, I made the hit and I got all of this money, but then I needed to learn how to keep the money. It's a whole different process from getting the money. So getting yourself cleansed and then keeping yourself cleansed is a different process altogether. So that's why you had the Levitical priests. For the time that we slipped, they were supposed to put forth sacrifices to cleanse us for those once in the blue moon time that we slipped and was not following the law. The law is not grievous. What he lays out for us is so that we can think properly, so that we can feel properly, so that we can interact with our brothers and sisters in a righteous mind, in a humble state, not angry, not hyped up on caffeine, well, not caffeine, sugar, or not hyped up or angry because of the blood of the food that you're eating. This is what a combination that is, right? Imagine you're eating all this blood and it's making you angry, and then you eating all of the sweets that you can that are making you hyper, and you know what I'm saying? Now you got this connection of angry hyperness, and you're doing it constantly in your body every day. You don't think there's got any kind of outcomes to that. You don't think there's any kind of repercussions that might filter out in some places. I'm just saying, right? So when these Levitical laws that we're reading is for our good, is for us to live better, for us to, now see, this was the chart I was looking for before. Yeah, see, I had it nice and big for you guys to read. So I had to pull it out. Yeah, I found it. And you know, I was just looking for it because now I'm looking for something else and it didn't want to show it to me. So I want to get this, the cud, right? So we're about to go into it right now. So what is the cud, right? So it says right here, there is a decision regarding kosher animals. There are these animals intrinsically kosher and the kosher signs just help us identify them, or are they only kosher because of the qualities they possess? It's a good question. Is these animals, when they say kosher, that means in the Levitical order? Kosher means the Levitical orders. So as these people that are telling you about Catholicism and they're saying that they're paying their money and tribute to Israelis, right? And these Israelis are calling their food kosher, meaning that they're following the Levitical order, which Yasha did away with their order, but still they're holding it so that they can hold their position in the world, right? But yet Christians won't change their diet to match the people they're paying tribute to. So basically what they're doing is they're eating all the pork they want and they're giving their sacrifice unto their priest to make them okay, to wipe away their sins. You get it? It's real sick like, but you get it, right? So these particular people, they call the Levitical foods kosher. So it's saying, they're asking the question, are all these animals, these kosher animals, are they intrinsically kosher? Meaning by the way that they live. By the way that they live, are they righteous? Or is it because they have the qualities that the book describes we should eat? It says, are you a kosher animal? I want to get to this other part right here.
I'm a kosher animal.
All right. All right, so there is one more thing too deep to keep the animal inside us kosher. Chewing the cud. After the animal swallows its food, it regurgitates it and chews on it again. Even with all the above mentioned strategies in place when it comes to earthly pursuits, we have to constantly reevaluate our situation and make certain that we are on the right path. On the
You missed it again?
it's another slide that I have, but basically what I'm trying to get you guys to see is that there is a digestive system
Digestive system.
of the cud, and I thought that was that one that I have pulled up, but it's not. It's all right. I got the other one.
Maybe it's the wrong one.
It is. It absolutely is the wrong
Yeah.
one.
Just
That's right, and that's exactly what we're gonna do.
continue. We proceed.
This what we're gonna do.
But what are we gonna do?
We're gonna go back once on our search. Here we go. This was the site I was looking for about the cud, animals that chew the cud, right? So what is cud? Chewing cud is when an animal regurgitates from the rumen to the mouth. This boluses or partially digested food is what is called cud. So the animal regurgitates a small piece of the food that is chewing into a certain section of his mouth. In other words, these animals do this for further mastication, meaning to eat it later, to digest it later. It says when a ruminant animal that chews the cud takes food, the food they consume goes directly to the rumen, the first part of the stomach. Here, it mixes with specific digestive fluids and microorganisms, which then triggers digestion. When these animals take a rest, they bring back the food to further masticate it before swallowing it again. And that is what rumination is, as simple as that, right? So and then also, let me more on the cud, because understand that there are several stomachs in the animals that chew the cud. Thank you, Imam. You know what I'm saying? That chew the cud. And they eat grass, right? So let's get to that part, right? Usually the rumen feed a portion of the food they eat is stored in the rumen. Later, animals will bring it back the food to the mouth to chew it in the second time, especially when the animal is resting. You may be wondering why the animal has to chew the food a second time, but it is simple. The reason is the act of chewing cud helps the animals like cows or buffaloes to get the most out of nutrients in the food. So basically, it's like a press. What you have when we make wine, right? You are pressing the grapes down, right? Getting the nutrients, right? The more and more you smush it, the more and more you squeeze it, you are getting the nutrients out of it. So they partially chew it, then they bring it back up to get even more of the nutrients. Whoa, wait a minute. So the Most High wants us to only eat animals that get the full nutrients of the grass of the earth in their bodies, so therefore that we are eating the best possible nutrients for our body. Wait, I thought this was a punishment. Jordan, I thought this Levitical law was a punishment, man.
I thought it was too, but how can we eat that stuff?
Right, man. Why would we want to eat some stuff that we know is going to tear down our body, give us high blood pressure, hypertension, diabetes, cancer, and the list goes on, when the Most High gave us this animals that would chew their food in such a way that they would purify, their bodies would be purified, so that when we ate them, we were getting nothing but the nutrients of their body. Wow. I guess, I don't know, man. I guess it's not so much of a grievous thing that the Father has for us to do with these animals. You better believe we need some chicken. Yeah, that's why I like to make those stereotype jokes. All black folks love their chicken. Yeah, we find that it's kosher. Oh yes, Emar, thank you. Animals that eat grass have a totally different taste to them. Understand that the reason why I'm going to go another level deeper than the fact of all praises, thank you. Another deeper reason of why we want animals that chew the cud or chew the grass, and why we want all the nutrients out of that. Well, understanding that the earth and everything that grows from the earth vibrates at 432 hertz. So the sun gives its rays that through vibration, that's the part, through vibration. So the sun rays are vibrations, waves of energy that are giving birth to our plants, right? So the plants are vibrating. When the animals eat the grass, then they are now taking in the vibration that's directly from the sun, the nutrients directly from the sun, along with the nutrients of the rich earth that is being grown. The animals now are vibrating, or should be vibrating, at that same vibration. See, I know once it gets into density, fat, and blood, and all of that, things are a little bit different, but understand the process that you vibrate off of what you eat. What you come in contact affects your overall vibration. So the animals are eating the Most High's vibration. The animals are chewing or digesting the spirit. That's what those nutrients are. Those nutrients come directly from the sun. Last I checked, the Most High created the sun. Those nutrients that are in those plants, that they are chewing and getting every bit of it, so that their bodies are enriched for his seed to eat. Us, we be the seed. That's a beautiful thing.
Why would other things eat us, the seed?
Well, when we had before Noah, since we are into dinosaurs right now, well, before the days of Noah, Jordan, that the evil ones, the fallen angels, the Nephilim that ran the earth, and at that time they called the world Atlantis, they gene spliced and took the dinosaurs that were herbivores that you learn about, that were herbivores. They gene spliced many of those and created animals such as the T-Rex, your favorite, the Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? Which were your meat eaters, but they were spiritually, and then we look at a T-Rex compared to a herbivore, which is a peaceful animal, right? Which is a peaceful dinosaur, as opposed to the ones that ate blood. And what did they want? More blood. Weren't they always angry?
That's called
Carnivores. That's my young Hannah. Yes. So now when we go back to our scripture, verse 11, it says, Leviticus 11, they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses an abomination. Whatsoever hath no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. So when we look at the word abomination, right? Let's go to our tools. Because you're saying that that's a pretty steep thing to say. Okay, it's not good for us to eat, but why we got to call it an abomination? Why in Hebrews, why in lexicon we got Hebrews 82:63 for abomination? Abominations. It's idolatrous, it's detestable thing, or idol, or unclean. Unclean. So the Most High says he's holy. He wants to reside in your temple. Am I going too far by saying that when we make our temple unclean, that it makes it harder for him to reside in us? Am I going too far with that? Say that again, sir.
I guess you're not going to.
I don't think that we are. I don't think that the Most High has any problems dealing with anyone or getting to anyone's spirit. Don't get it twisted. He used Persian kings. He used Nebuchadnezzar. He used all kind of people that were not righteous to do his bidding. But the ones that are clinging unto him, the ones that want the blessings of him, those are the ones that are trying to walk in this book, walk in these laws for it to be a lifestyle. And Father says, okay, I'm with that. But you have to have a clean lifestyle so that we can do this together. So, what you say, young man?
So, like you said, if you have a clean, what's the other word?
Lifestyle.
Clean lifestyle, that means you're a Hebrew Israelite.
All praise to the Most High. That's what we believe. And it says that's what the scripture says. Verse 13. And these that are which ye shall have an abomination among the fowls, they shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, the ostrich, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kit after its kind, every raven after its kind, and the owl, and the nighthawk, and the cuckoo, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican.
No, man, sheep has more weight for the fan.
You want to cut it off?
Yeah.
Go ahead. And the gear eagle, the top one. There you go. And the swan, and the pelican, and the gear eagle, and the stork, the heron after her kind, and the lapwing, and the bat. Who wants to eat bats? But many people do. And the fowls that creep, going upon all four, shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet to leap withal upon the earth. So you see it kind of flip here, right? Before it spoke about, it said clearly, don't eat nothing like this, but this is the outliers, right? But here is flip. It says that the outliers, right? And it says, ye may eat of the flying and creeping things that go on all four above their feet and leap with upon the earth. And above it says, all fowls that creep going upon all fours shall be an abomination unto you. So it outlined all of the things on all fours, and then comes back and gives you the outliers of the all fours you can eat, as opposed to when it came to the meat, all things were good to eat except for these things that were abominations that ate the food, right? That did not chew the cud, rather. Even these of them ye may eat, the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. So, as we know, John the Baptist ate honey and grasshoppers his whole time as he did his ministry, as he did Dead Sea Scrolls, as he waited to make the way for Yasha. And 23. But all other flying, creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever touches the carcass of them shall be unclean until the even. That's that night. And whosoever beareth aught out of carcasses of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. So even the people that are touching these carcasses, right? You are unclean. It is telling you that in any manner that you touch this, like the Most High is very clear and very, that's not the word I want to use. It may come across that he's being very forceful, right? That he's being very aggressive, intent about what things he's choosing for you not to eat. And by going as far as to say you even touch them, that you are unclean. But the Most High is saying that you should look upon yourself that holy. That's the perspective that I pray people see on this night, is that you should see yourself as that holy, that you should not want to touch these things. Instead of looking at it from the perspective of, oh, I got somebody beating me on my head. Oh, if I touch it, oh, wow, look at that, man. I can't even touch something. Look at me. Yeah. Always want to put me in punishment. You Hebrews always got a punishment for everything. No, the Most High said, man, I'm trying to keep it clean. I'm really trying to put some laws and statutes in place. Because, right, this is not on the 10 Commandments, right? This is laws and statutes. So I'm trying to give you laws and statutes to stay clean. And now if you follow the 10 Commandments along with these laws and statutes, you should be vibrating. My temple, I should be able to come down when the sun is shining upon you. I should be able to vibrate in you. I should not have to go through the fat and the iniquity to get to you. I should not have to fight your calcified pineal gland because you're using fluoride every day for toothpaste, because you're eating the things that are calcifying your pineal gland. So that's why he's so adamant. That's the word I was looking for. Adamant. Thank you, Most High. Adamant. Actually, I gave a definition before I got the word. Adamant is persistent about your point. You are persistent. You are going the extra mile to have your point understood. So the Most High is adamant about us not touching things that are unclean because he wants us to be clean. Right? So, and then we go here. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manner of beasts that go on all fours, those are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcasses shall be unclean until the even. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the even. They are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creep upon the earth, the wassail, the weasel, and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret, the chameleon, and the lizard, and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever thou touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the even. Say, these are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them, when they be dead, shall be unclean until the evening. So when we are about to go into the fashion thing, right? So when you are putting on certain furs or minks, like a mink coat, which would not be, kosher, right? Let's go to my thing right here. Oh, no, that's not it.
What is it called?
That's it right there. So when we go to our creepy crawly, to the furs, right? And we are putting on furs of where was it? Rabbit, the furs of the mink. I thought they would have the mink written in here, but the mink falls in just like the hare because it has the same feet, right? So the mink would be an abomination that you would wear. You would be unclean while you were wearing your mink coat, even though society tells you that you're so fresh and so clean. But according to the Most High, you would in fact be unclean. But there, don't trip because there's an understanding, right? And it says, but for the insects, right? And we just read about the hopping things. These are the locusts, including some of the crickets and grasshoppers that can be eaten, right? And then the uncleans are insects without jointed jumping legs, all insects except some in the locust family, right? So as they have escargot, that would not be good for us as a Hebrew to go in with, right? We don't want to do the snails, right? The creepy crawly things, right? So back here. So it says, upon whatsoever, it says, and upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be in any vessel of wood or remnant or skin or sack, whatsoever vessel it be, wherein any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the eve, so it shall be cleansed. So the Father says, okay, even if you're gonna work with these animals for clothing, for different things, then you must cleanse it first. You cleanse it, it said, and upon whatsoever any of them, when they are dead, doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be any vessel of wood or remnant or skin. So it's saying, even if you're aligning something with your vessel, right, with this thing, it is still unclean. So you're basically drinking from an unclean vessel or a skin or pouch. So if you had a pig pouch, you had a pouch made of pig, then anything you put in it will be unclean, right? And it says, and then you shall, but in order to clean it, you must put it into water, and it shall be unclean until the even. So it shall be cleansed. Now, the things that you may be saying to yourself, well, maybe the stuff that I wear that's got these animal products or these other things, maybe they washed them and cleansed them. I'm sure they washed them, I'm sure they did something to them, right? They ain't got no blood on them, right? They had hair and bones connected to them prior. So obviously, you want to believe that they washed it. But did they wash it in the sense of how we pray unto the Most High? Because no, thank you. Because there's a process in which we do it, right? Because the ones that followed Moloch, that did sacrifices of animals, it was the same animals we sacrificed, but they were sacrificing it to whom? To fallen angels, as opposed to the Most High. So the intent means everything. 33. And every earthen vessel whereunto any of them falleth, whatsoever in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. He said, if it even falls into the break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean, and all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. Yes, the Most High is adamant about you not touching unclean things. Yes, the Most High is adamant about this. So in 35 it says, and everything whereupon any part of the carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be oven or in ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or pit wherein there is plenty of water shall be clean, but that which toucheth their carcasses shall be unclean. So again, when they say that cleanliness is next to the Most Highness, right? Then we understand where this saying comes from. But when we're cleaning it, are we praying unto the Most High? Are we acknowledging Him in the process of what we're doing? When we read certain passages and prophets that say you should pray unceasingly. Well, if we understood that our body was a temple and all the food that we're going to put in it, well, one, we're going to pray while we're cleaning it. Two, we're going to pray over it while we're cooking it. Three, we're going to pray and thank Him for it when we eat it, right? So if we're going through that process of praying consciously about what we're doing, and even before the process of cooking, the decision of what I'm going to eat, choosing to sacrifice for your temple, that I'm going to eat the righteous thing, right? All of those decisions are part of praying. When you are meditating on the Most High and you're meditating upon His laws and statutes, then you are praying unto Him. So then we find out that what sounded grievous before about praying constantly or unceasingly, we find that if we're walking it, if we are living this thing, then by default, we will be praying all the time unceasingly because we're acknowledging Him at all times. And it's not grievous. There's no commandment or law that says that if every time you receive something, you don't give praise to the Most High, that's a sin. You transgress the law. That's not in the scripture. It's not that way. So it's not grievous. 37. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed, which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be upon the seed, and any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the even. He also that beareth that carcass, the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the evening. So it says, going back up, and be unclean until the evening. It says, and he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes. So even if you eat this unclean thing, the Most High wants you to wash his clothes. Let's go back to 39. And if any beast of which ye may eat die, and he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the even. So you're already unclean, right? Because you didn't touch it, right? You touched the carcass. And he that eateth, so now you're going to eat the carcass that you didn't kill, right? Because it's unclean, right? So now you're going to eat this carcass, and of it you shall wash your clothes, right? And be unclean until the even. He also that beareth the carcass, that bears it, that holds it, of it shall wash his clothes, the one that brought it, and be unclean until the even. Wow. So what the Most High is saying, and then we have to understand what this clean and unclean is. It's the blood. What's making it clean and unclean is now dead blood. You are now touching dead blood. The carcass is filled with dead blood. That's what makes it unclean. Yes, you may eat this beast. You may kill it and do all things that you need to wash to make it cleanse, but you will be unclean until you wash yourself. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, caterpillars, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourself an abomination, with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourself unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. Yes, eat more rare steak, you are eating blood. That's one your brother right here had to, because I love me a medium rare. I used to like mine really red. No good. No bueno. Right? So medium well it is. You dig? Um, so the blood is the thing that is unclean. It's once you cut the beast and you're handling this uncleanliness. That's why the Father wants you to clean your clothes. He wants you to clean your body. Even after you eat it, you cleaning yourself, but you're back to being, as it's gonna say here, sanctified. Why? Because he wants you clean. This whole thing is about not saying you're a king, not saying you are a seed of Jacob, not saying that you're royalty, but acting like it, like walking it. And that may seem snottish or snootish to some people. It may seem to be stuck up. You know, someone may say to you, well, when you was poor, you did it, or when you ain't had nothing, we did it. Our ancestors kept us alive by eating it. But you're now walking into your new light, though. You're into your new body, right? That's what this whole thing is about. Becoming clean. It's about breaking the yoke off your neck. That's what it's supposed to be. And not to mention, disease comes with it, right? Not to mention, right? Diseases come from it. So maybe the Most High knew what we needed to stay healthy, for our temple to stay healthy. So wait, I just had a brain ignited, right? I don't want to say a light popped up because that's just too cliches. I was trying to come up with something different, but it didn't work. Anyway, the point that what I'm trying to say is that guess what? When we are being clean and we have done what He has asked of us, right, to be clean, then we are not susceptible to diseases. So if my adversary, Hashatan, if my oppressor, the government decided that they needed to weaken my immune system, then maybe they would tell me that pork was a major food group. And maybe if they needed me to be on their pharmaceutics and I needed to be a 24-hour patient for the rest of my life because, you know, they're about treatments, right? What if my oppressor wanted me to be chained to them mentally and physically? Then it would be a good thing for them to serve up all of the iniquity and abominable things and tell us that they are delicacies. And tell us that this is what you should strive to want to eat. You should wish you could go to a restaurant and spend $50 on an abominable catfish smothered in shrimp and crawfish made by some French chef. Ooh. So now I'm paying to make myself unclean by an unclean people that are using this to have me sick and on their pharmaceuticals, which empowers their nation and their gross national profit. I mean, am I going too far, guys? I know I'm supposed to be just sticking to the scriptures and to the fact that we are dealing with the law, but my goodness, it looks like there's a bigger plan going on, right? There's a big half left, right? Right, Mom? Mom, what you say, my brother?
Well, it can go wrong, but if it don't, it might end short.
Right. Meaning that if we don't eat of them, we could live long. If we eat of their fruit, if we eat of their poison, if we partake and what they call delicacies, right? Then we realize that the Most High has a great plan. And when people say that this is written by somebody, I'm like, well, you know what? If a white man wrote this book, he sure enough care about me. Because he just showed me how not to get diabetes. He just showed me how not to get to be stuck upon their drugs and their pharmaceuticals. He just told me that I would think better and love my mankind if I didn't eat blood. He just told me that if I don't partake in these abominable things, that the rest of the world is going to say I'm set apart and going to say I'm snooty. But no, because I'm royal. Because I'm royal. Nobody's going to make you a queen. Nobody's going to make you a king. You have to be what you say you are. You have to walk in and talking and be it. If the only way that we are rulers, the only way that we have the scepter is if we are walking this life, then it's about time that we understand the law of this life. And that this law is not grievous. It is to make our bodies heavenly bodies. It is to make our bodies impenetrable. It is to make us absent of disease. So that when we read James and it says that if someone be sick, then you have anointing oils upon him and the elders pray upon them and they repent. And that means stop doing what they were doing. What does a doctor tell you? Oh, you have high blood pressure. Stop eating. That means repent. And when it tells you to stop eating the food that are giving you high blood pressure, the doctor is telling you to repent. Repent means to turn and not do it, what you had done before. So if we are following the law of the dietary law, and we see that we are no longer sick, that we are no longer, well, let me rephrase that. When we follow the dietary law, then our illnesses can be healed by anointing oils and prayers, and by us turning away from the thing that brought us to this disease or to this position. If I have been eating a righteous diet, it's going to be very easy to figure out what thing that I have eaten that is not a part of the diet. And then I can go to that thing and see, well, does that thing cause the problem that I'm having? And I guarantee you it will. I guarantee you if you decide to make 2 plus 2, you will see 4, the 4 tribe Judah, the scepter, the law. I guarantee it. So we understand by following these Levitical orders that the Most High is putting forth our royal lineage. He is showing us how to eat as his princes and princesses, how to eat as his priests and prophets, how to eat as his daughters of Zion. If you don't want to understand that eating the food allows him to come into you, well, just understand that, hey, this is his order for you. This is how he says that your body can hum, can vibrate on a vibration that he can connect with. So as we go to 43, ye shall not make yourselves an abomination with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourselves unclean with them, that ye be defiled thereby. For I am the Most High, your power, Hawa, your breath. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourself. Wait, no man is to sanctify me? Therefore sanctify yourself. For I am the Most High, your power. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourself. So if I follow this Levitical order, food, if I eat the right things, then I will be sanctifying myself. I don't need to go to no man. I don't need to go to no confessional. Then if I start to eat the wrong thing, then prayers, because prayers heal and move all things. So now when I go to my congregation, because I'm eating the right thing and I done fell ill, and my congregation, the elders, listen to me and tell me, I tell them what I'm doing, and they say, okay, boom. Yeah, we figured out this is the thing you're doing that's making you ill. You repent, you stop doing that. Our prayers go up for you because we righteous, because we have not sinned. We are clean. So we as clean people are sending our prayers, and we are going to ask the Most High to heal you. And as you do the actual work of sanctifying yourself, you'll be healed. Hmm. Hmm. I mean, it makes a connection to me. Does it make connect to you? Does it connect to you, Jordan?
It always connects to me.
That's right, my brother. So then we go on 45, and it says, for I am, I don't want to finish that, hold up. Sanctify yourself, and ye shall be holy, for I am holy. Neither shall ye defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Most High that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your Most High, to be your salvation, to be your power. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. Oh, whoa. You're right. He said it again, my brother. He's the Torah. That's right. He's the Torah. He is the law, and the law is power. The law is royalty. The law is the crown. It is the scepter. It is Judah. It is us. We give our praises to the Father for wanting us to be like him. I give all praises. He could have wanted us to be anything. I mean, when you look at the Anunnaki and you look at the Sumerian tablets, they made us to be slaves unto them. But no, the Father says, I want you to be holy like me. I want you to be great like me. I want you to receive the greatness that I have in store for you. I got treasures in the storehouse for you. All for you. But I can't really be in uncleanliness because I am the epitome of clean. Like I can't be unclean. Like he's the Most High. He has all things and created all things. It didn't say that he was evil. He created evil. He didn't say he was evil. Never at one point in time did Yasha say, I am Hashatan. Never at one point in time did the Most High say in any of these scriptures, in any of these prophets, did he ever say, I am evil? No, he did not. He says, I am holy. This is the law of the beast and the fowl and of every living creature that moveth in the waters and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth. Ooh, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Now, my goodness gracious, do we have to think that the Most High, all these naysayers on the outside that look at this chapter and say this is grievous to them, that they should be able to conquer whatever, that they should be able to take over whomever, that they should be able to do as thy wilt? Whose doctrine does that sound like? Say it again, my brother. Say it again. Man, no. See, Joe, you got to say it louder. If you want to say that, you got to say that louder, my brother. Yes, my brother. Oh, praise to the Most High Yah. That's right. Yes. So we are gonna take a detour to a very special book, right? It's called Barak, right? Yes, you do. Oh, you got Barak, brother. Oh, yes, you do.
Where do you see Barak in my book?
It's page 984 for you, my brother.
Page 984?
Yep.
I don't see Barak in my book.
Actually, it's on page 973 that we're going to be reading from. So we are going to go to Barak, all right? Second Barak, Second Barak 84. And it says, now I gave you knowledge while I still live. For I have said that you should particularly learn my mighty commandments, which the Most High has instructed you. And I shall set before you some of the commandments of his judgment. Now, this is what I have up for you guys, but I'm going to read from my Sefer. It says, behold, I have therefore made known unto you these things while I live, For I have said it that ye should learn the things that are excellent, for the Most High has commanded me to instruct you. And I will set before you some of the commandments of his judgment before I die. Remember that formerly Moshe assuredly called heaven and earth to witness against you. Wait, Barak said, hold up. Barak said, look, man, I come here to talk to you guys while I still live. I came here to tell you about the beautiful things of the excellency of the Most High. And he says, now remember, most certainly Moses came to you, and Moses called the heavens and the earth to witness against you. So, what did you say, my brother?
What chapter you want again?
We are page 973, and we're on 2nd Barak, chapter 84. All right. So it says, so when Moshe came, now remember, we are reading from Leviticus, and Moshe is putting in the law of Leviticus. And here, Barak is saying that while Moshe was doing that, he was calling the earth and the heavens against us as be a witness against us. And it says, remember, verse 3. If ye transgress the Torah, ye shall be dispersed. But if ye guard it, ye shall be guarded. See, that's the part. Verse 3 says, if ye transgresses the Torah, which is the law, the book, ye shall be dispersed. We have been dispersed. We are called the great diaspora. The great diaspora is the African word for dispersed, right? But if ye guard it, ye shall be guarded. I guess we didn't, right? That's why Yasha came, because we did not guard it. And other things also he used to say unto you when ye, the 12 tribes, were together in the desert. Verse 5. And after his death, ye cast them away from you. So after his death, ye cast them away from you. On this account, there come upon you what had been predicted. So you threw away all the law. And so you were dispersed. So that meant that we were not following the Levitical law, right? And it says, and now Moshe used to tell you before they befell you, and lo, they have befallen you. For ye have forsaken the Torah. Lo, I also say unto you, after ye have suffered, that if ye obey those things which have been said unto you, ye will receive from the Most High whatsoever has been up in reserve for you. So the next time somebody asks you the question, right, of why you want to follow these things, why you want to look at the Levitical order, why are you looking at the Melchizedek order, why do you seek these things? Well, one, Moses said that we would transgress these laws. So he said he took the heavens and the earth as a witness against us, meaning that he called them, we were on trial. Moses was saying, as my witness to the Most High, to this earth, these fools gonna transgress. And when they do, you're gonna be dispersed. But if you don't, though, even though I think you are, even though I'm a man, I think you're gonna do this because y'all done shown me your creed, you done shown me your kind, you done shown me the cut of your cloth, right? I done broke 10 tablets on you. I done struck the rock, right? Moses was going through it, baby. Don't let them think that Moses was just, the people were just following Moses and everybody was just right behind him. Oh no, Moses was going through it. The man broke the first 10 commandments off his sapphire tablets. The man had to strike the rock in anger like you, to where he didn't even get to cross over to the promised land. Okay, but that's fine. That's Moses' issue, right? We're talking about us tonight, right? That's Moshe's issue. Moses is taken care of. He's just fine, right? But for us, we'll go back and forth. And it says, and other things also he used to say unto you, when ye, the 12 tribes, were together in the desert, and after his death ye cast them away from you. So you threw all the law away when he died. On this account there came upon you what had been predicted. And now Moshe used to tell you before they befell you, and lo, they have befallen you, and ye have forsaken the Torah. Lo, I also say unto you, ye have suffered. But the Most High, Yasha, right? The Most High gave us Yasha. He gave us the Ruach HaKodesh. Yasha said when he came, he gave his life to do away with the men that had gone astray since Aaron and since Moses. That his death, that his being an unblemished, had no guile in his mouth. Goodness gracious, how great this our most, when we deal with people on a constant basis, he had 12 people following him. He had the Romans trying to kill him, and he had no guile in his mouth. You know what kind of miraculous feat that is? Miraculous. But still, he died for us and left the Ruach HaKodesh as the comforter, the Holy Spirit he left for us, so that we could wake in this hour and read these words in this hour, to know that regardless of all the pain, regardless of all the impending danger that seems to be right at our doorsteps, that salvation has never left. Salvation has never gone anywhere, and the law has not left us either. Because if there is no law, then there is no salvation. If there is no law, there is no salvation. And it says, verse 6, lo, I also say unto you, after you have suffered, that if ye obey those things which have been said unto you, ye will receive from the Most High whatsoever has been laid up and reserved for you. So that's your answer to naysayers. Tell them, I'm just trying to get my treasures, man. I understand you don't get it. It's okay. I'm not trying to convert you. I ain't trying to make you me. I was only trying to drop off some information that I think is valuable, that's vital to your future. Because I love you as a brother, I love you as a sister. So I dropped this on, but it's okay. You don't have to receive it. You don't have to talk bad about it either. To my Facebook people out there, you ain't got to talk bad about it either. You can go on and do your thing. But understand that this is only given for the opportunity of salvation. This is only given for the opportunity for you to see that this world does not have the power. That the Most High has the power. And the things that are for you can no man take. Only you can take yourself out of the position to receive them by doing away with the law, by doing as thy wilt. Verse 7. Moreover, let this sefer be for a testimony between me and you, that ye may remember the commandments of Elohim, and that also there may be to me a defense in the presence of him who sent me. So this man said, I'm not only telling you these words for you, but as a defense for me when I got to go and meet my maker. Baruch ain't playing. Baruch said, look here, bro. It's, I do hope that you get it. I really, really hope that this seeps in and you walk it, right? But I'm doing this for my soul too. You know what I'm saying? Like when I got to go and meet my maker, and they say, well, what did you talk to your brothers and your sisters about? Was it the saints? Now, I'm not talking about the prophets. I'm talking about the football game. Was it Christmas and the tree that Jeremiah 10 says you should not be dealing with? Did you talk to them about the Hanukkah and this falsehood of these people that claim themselves to be the Jews when they are not? Revelations 2 and 9, Revelations 3 and 9. Did you tell them that they were rich? Did you tell them that they were rich? Well, tonight, Barak is saying the same thing. You are rich. You have treasures that are stored up if you come back to the law. If you come back to the law, you've got riches stored, waiting upon you. Can no man take what the Most High has for you? Only you can separate yourself from your Most High by being unclean. We are trying to be clean in this hour. And as it reads, and remember ye the Torah and Zion, and the Holy Land and your brethren, and the covenant of your fathers, and forget not the feast and the Sabbath. Oh, praises as we are here right now. We rocking with Barak. We are looking at the Levitical order. We are rocking with the feast days. We just denounced the other feast days, right? We are now in our Shabbat. We are in the law because we are the law. I watched a Gentile today that was very, very, very learned. He had some great points that he brought out. And if it pops in my mind in the next chapter, because I was on chapter 12, Leviticus, I'm going to say him because there's some great things. And he knows he's a Gentile. No ifs, ands, buts about it. Doesn't try to claim to be anything else, but loves the Most High with everything in him. But as the Gentiles said, they're not under the law. That they believe as Gentiles that they're saved by their grace. Well, I'm not here to kick over your bucket of milk. You can do that. Right now, I'm focused on the tribes, on the seed of Jacob, on the chosen ones, that we are the ones to administer the law. And before we can administer the law, we got to know the law and we got to walk in the law. That way, we administer the law and we would not be under the law. Okay. Verse 9, and deliver ye this sefer and the truth of the Torah, sefer means the book, to your sons after you, and also your fathers delivered them unto you, and at all times make requests, preservingly, and pray diligently with your whole heart, that the Most High may be reconciled to you, and that he may not reckon the multitude of your sins. But remember the rectitude of your fathers. For if he judges us not according to the multitude of his mercies, woe unto all of us who are born. Oh, Baruch say, for if he judges us not according to the multitudes of his mercies, woe unto all us who are born. Kick out the color, kick out the seed, kick out Gentile, period, point blank. My man Barak said, let me get to the heart of the matter. Let me get to the crux of the matter. That if we are not judged by his grace and mercy, woe unto all of us, because all of us are sinners in his eyes. He said, don't come to him and say that you have not sinned. So that's a quick way to get down there. So we read Second Baruch, chapter 84 as a precept to understanding why we go back to the law of the Leviticus for the food. Now let's get to the hot topic of the night. Uncleanliness. Oh boy, you don't know. This is a hot topic, boy.
What's a hot topic?
Leviticus 12, man. Yeah.
Leviticus 12.
For one, because you and I are of the male kind, right? And this chapter speaks of uncleanliness when it comes to the daughters of Zion.
And that one?
Chapter 12, verse 1. If you get to it, I shall let you read. Well, the route that we're going to go with this as being witnesses unto the word this evening, we're coming from the understanding of clean and unclean, right? So in clean and unclean, again in 11, it was defined for us what clean and unclean is. Clean and unclean has to do with the blood, right? It has to do with the abomination of the animals of the blood, right? So in 12, we're going to be speaking about the menstrual cycle for a woman, and we're going to be speaking about the birth and the process of being cleansed within that, right? And why is it considered to be uncleansed? Because today, the Most High I'm going to tell you how the Most High just works everything out. Today there was a post that was put up, and it spoke directly about this, right? And it's about one of my brothers in my Inyan community that does not rock with scriptures in any form or fashion. But what he put up was that how could a woman be unclean when she's giving birth to a child? And how is it that the child is unclean? So he went to, the diatribe or whatever it was. But when you don't understand it, it can look like that from the outside. That's why I said it's so poetic that the Most High, that this was the chapter we was on tonight in our series, right? So let's get to it. Are you there, my brother? I don't see it. Oh, let's see you go. Start off, verse 1. And remember, read loud so they can hear you.
All right. Challenge accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahuwah spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yasharale, saying, If a woman have
conceived seed, mm-hmm.
and born a male child, then she shall be unclean.
Mm-hmm.
7 days.
7 days.
According to the days of the separation.
Mm-hmm.
For her infirmity.
Separation of her infirmity shall she be unclean. All right, hold up right there. So when we first start off here, it is saying that, speaking to the children of Yasharale, if a woman conceives as a child and she bears a boy, there's a distinction between a boy and a girl. The boy, she shall be unclean 7 days. According to the days of the separation for her infirmity shall she be unclean. This is referencing the law on infirmity for women when they're going through their menstrual cycles. That, as we know, the menstrual cycles usually last around that time, right? As far as a man is concerned, I'm not going to go into the delicate intricacies of that. I'm just going to say it usually wraps around a week or so. There can be other complications varying from the individual. But according to the law, it is stating that for those 7 days that she is considered unclean. Now remember, we are stating that uncleanliness comes to blood. It is not the fact that she is an unclean person and that she's unclean once a month and that she's this horrible being. No, once a month she's being renewed. And every month she's being renewed, she is getting rid of waste. That waste would be the menstrual cycle. That's wrapped in mucus and blood. So that's what is making her unclean, as the pig's blood, because the pig is of waste and only eats waste, and it does not eat of the grass. It does It eats of any abomination on earth, and the stomach does not digest it properly, so it does not separate the nutrients from the waste. So it is unclean. So we have to understand that this is what this is referencing, not that a woman is a bad person or mean or unclean or whatever. It is that. Now, I'm going to take this leap, right? And I'm going to make this connection. And Ema, you still on here? You good for correcting me. So if I'm wrong, you can give me this one. And I'll take this one from my daughter Zion. So when we understand in 11 that eating red meat brings about anger, brings about irrational thoughts, right? Let's go. Let's see what happens. Let me see. Because I'm about to go there.
You know what I was saying? That this show's getting really good so far.
I hope I can find this thing right quick. You know what? I'm going to do it this way. I don't want blood sugar. I want eating blood. See, I don't want to tell y'all.
They can blood sugar. Oh, you're looking for eating blood.
Yep. They don't want to give me the eating part. They just want to. But anyway, understanding that the consumption of blood brings about anger. It makes a person more hyper, more hypertension, as they said, right? We had the hypertension up there, right? And as it says here, blood pressure. But it's more than just blood pressure. It anxieties, right? It makes you real quick, right? You know what I'm saying? It makes you want to be angry, right? So yes, yeah, Imam put it in there, right? So we're understanding that if a man eats blood and blood is a major part of his diet, he's aggressive. He's way more aggressive. There's many studies about it. So when we understand that a woman in her menstrual cycle, she is getting a rush of blood. She's flushing blood and receiving blood. It is a process that is happening within her. So we can see that, as men may say, she has PMS, right? That it is because of the amount of blood that is being rushed through. It is a direct connection to it. Okay, so it's not so much that she hates you and want to cut your heart out, my brothers, or want to circumcise you a little bit further than you need to be circumcised. Understand that it's not them; it is the amount of blood that is coursing through their body, right? So, with that understanding, right? So it says for the 7 days, right? For the separation. So then it says, and in the 8th day, the flesh of his foreskin shall be circumcised. So the little boy, after the 7 days, and after the woman has been for 7 days now deemed clean from having a boy, then shall and she shall then continue in the blood of her purifying 33 days, which shall touch no hollow thing, nor come into the sanctuary until the days of her purifying be fulfilled. She is still dealing with the waste of the umbilical cord, the sac, all these things are still being flushed out in this time period. This is not a chia pet, when you put a little water in there and things grow. Our bodies are intricate. We are bringing forth life. Well, excuse me, women, the daughters of Zion, are bringing forth life. Right. So we understand that the body has to shift gears now. From now, the body was once feeding another thing inside of it. The stomach and everything, all different parts inside of a body has been shifted around to make way for this baby, this sac, right, to be there. Now everything got to go back to the way it was. Everything got to flush itself out. Everything got to check in with the frequencies. Okay, you spleen, you over here, uterus, you all right there, everybody in the right place. All right, we can start humming together now. That takes a process of time. Our scripture says unclean, right? But we understand that the unclean comes only because it's the blood aspect. That this is a beautiful birth that is happening. This is a beautiful process that's being happening here. There is nothing dirty or nothing horrible about it. And if you are reading from the outside and saying, okay, unclean, and we're defiling the beauty of birth, you're really not paying attention, because as it says in 11, the Father is all about purification. And this is her purification time. Now, you'll look at the little boy and you say, well, 7 days for him, but then mama had to go an additional 33 days, which puts it somewhere around 41 days. The whole process comes to be around 41 days, 40 days, because when it's for a little girl, it becomes 80 some odd days, right? 81 days. You say, well, then why is there a difference between the uncleanliness when she has a boy to her uncleanliness when she has a girl? Well, partly as it's been broken down is because when the boy has his circumcision, because he does not have a menstrual cycle, that is him now being cleansed. He is now in the word. He is now a part of the Most High's covenant. And so it says, purify and be fulfilled. And 5, but if she bears a maid child, then she shall be unclean 2 weeks, not 7 days, but 2 weeks, as in her separation. And she shall continue in blood of her purifying 60 days, which is 66 days plus 14 days, right? Which gives you 80 days, right? So you're looking at this process being doubled when she has a little girl. Well, a young lady does not have a penis or foreskin in order for that to be circumcised and brought into the covenant. So the young lady is going through the covenant as a first time as well. So bearing the daughter and the mother are going through it together, right? So when it says, and when the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, she shall bring a lamb of the first year for a burnt offering, and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest. All right, you see sin right there, right? She giving birth is not a sin, okay? This is not a sin. But the fact that, as we read in 11, that even when we touch the carcass, the dead body of the dead carcass that has the dead blood in it, that we become unclean. So this is just carrying over the process. Let's not look at it as man and woman and how we view our wife or our sister or our mother that's giving birth, or how a woman feels as she's giving birth. Understand it from the Levitical law aspect, and that it is all about the blood and the purification and the process that we go through just to be purified in him, right? So, and it says, and when the days of her purifying are fulfilled for a son or for a daughter, so that means either the 41 or the 80 days, shall she bring a lamb if she's well-to-do. That means that if her family can afford a lamb. If a family cannot afford a lamb, it can a lamb and a young pigeon or a turtle dove for the sin offering, right? But we also, so in the sin offering, as we went back, let me go to our chart. Yeah, man. What you talking about again, man? We got to get some understanding. Why? What you talking about? Let's look at our sin offering. Hold on. All right. Let's go low. So for our sin offering, as we see here, all of the congregation, all the priests and congregation offering that was not confirmed on the altar was burned without the camp. A portion of the priest or commoners offering, I don't want to read that, burnt was to be boiled and eaten. The expectation of the sin of the offerer, right? So it's the expiation of the sin of the offerer. So when we're looking at her making in this sin offering, it shows here clearly 3 animals, right? That's 3 animals, right? For a sin offering. So it shouldn't have read turtle, dove, and pigeon is what I'm trying to get at. All right. If it was a true sin offering for the act of a sin of the congregation, then it would not have included a turtle dove. Understand that a trespass, you have the turtle dove and the sheep, right? For this as a trespass. So when we're saying that, when we look at the law itself and what the words are actually saying, and we understand that it's not a sin in the sense of the sin that we transgressed the law, because after all, that's what sin is, right? To transgress the law. Well, the Most High told us to be fruitful and multiply. So how can it be that giving birth could be a sin or a transgression of the law? It can't be, right? So it says then, well, then if the can't do a lamb, then you can do a turtle dove. So it's an accepting to the practice, according to the practice, right? So a trespass. So we trespass by touching the unclean thing, because sin is transgressing the law. Trespassing is touching the unclean thing, that we are unclean for a certain amount of time, and then we are purified through the offering. So the woman at the end of the process of her purification, she now comes and gives an offering, a trespass offering, for the blood that went through her, for the dead things after the child is out that had to be flushed in those 30 days, right? For the things that were once giving nutrients to the child, now to be flushed out. For that, she gave a trespass offering to a turtle dove, a pigeon, for a sin offering unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation unto the priest. And it says, who shall offer it before the Most High and make an atonement for her, and she shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. Whoa! So it's clear. The issue was not the process of giving birth. Clear is not that. It was the issue of the blood that obviously she could not avoid, right? A woman could not avoid that, right? So the Most High said, it's not a sin. God's like, I want you to check peep the game, all right? You get to go with the turtle dove, right? This is just the fact that you touched something dead, and we have to, and the Most High is, what's the word that we learned tonight, Jordan? Adamant. What's the word? Adamant, right? That the Most High is adamant about us knowing and understanding the law and why the law is there. It's not for us to be upset about the law. It is for us to meditate and ask the Father why the law. Because in his infinite wisdom, there's obviously something we are just missing because we're human. But in his infinite wisdom, what he's saying is that I want you to know how much I am against blood. That even when the process is you, that you're going to make a trespass offering for it. Even though you're bringing life, even though you're fulfilling what I'm telling you to do by bringing forth life, being prosperous and multiplying, right? Being fruitful, excuse me, not prosperous, being fruitful and multiplying, that even in that process, you're going to get dirty. After Adam, before the sins, right? Adam didn't have to till the soil to get his food. He didn't have, the fruit were not in the midst of thistle and thorns. But because of the sin, now he had to work and get himself dirty, but he still gets the reward. He still gets the barakas. He still got the blessings being rained down, right? The covenant is still in place. The love of the Most High is not going anywhere, right? So, as they say, if you want to look for a problem, you're going to find it. If you want to have a problem with these scriptures, if you want to not understand, if you just want to be stiff-necked and a stumbling block, there is no answer that can be given unto you. There's no answer that can be given to you that will make you understand that this is all love. That as the woman is going through this process of purification, that she is acknowledging the Most High's gift unto her. That the man and the boy that has his son at 7, he's standing there and he's circumcised and he's looking at himself and he knows that he was circumcised and he knows what it means to him to be circumcised in the father and the walk that he has to make. And he's looking at that boy. He's like, man, we're going to do this, right? Anyway, you know what I'm saying? I got a son, I had 27, I had a flashback. But you dig, you understand that this is beauty in its most beautiful manner. We have sacrifice, we have love, we have friction, we have gotten rid of the old and brought forth the new. We have become a union all through this blood and acknowledged him through the entire process and gave him his time as he outlined the time for us. Because, I mean, if you think that 40 days is grievous, you think that 80 days is a lot. Well, what's the other side of that, right? The complications. I was trying to pull up, and I know it's here. The complications that come from trying to have sex before the 2 weeks or before the time is up, that the amount of things that happens to a woman's body in that time frame, I must have got rid of that one. Oh yeah, if a man has sex with another man, he's definitely unclean. It's an abomination to the Most High, and that's why it's salvation. Because just like this is unclean, right? That if a man has sex with another man, he's unclean. But if he repents from that, cleanses himself, and comes into the Father, then the Father's all good. He repents, right? Complications. That's right. I thought I had this pulled up, guys, but I didn't. So, and it goes, so the things that happen if you decide to, think that this law is against something that is done out of willy-nilly of some white guy, some guy that set back up here and made the answer that they give of why they think our scripture and where our scripture comes from never cease to amaze me. But anyway, it says here, postpartum problems with sex, skin, urine, and other postpartum issues, right? So the Most High is saying that these 40 days of purification is because your body is not able to go back to what it was. It includes a urinary bladder infections, kidney infections, vaginal and rectum infections, right? Bleeding, right? There's all these different things that come if we choose not to follow the Levitical order. So we don't follow the order of the food, right? Our body breaks down, hypertension, high blood pressure, cancer, disease. If we don't follow his laws in reference to childbirth and get out of the whole thing of a woman being unclean and understand that the Father said it's a purification time, there's a time to give homage and to give praise and a time for your body to come back into shape. And that these are all things done for us. These are all things that have been done for our benefit, for the love of us. The Father continues to ask over and over again for us to come back unto him. And Barak says that we did away with the law so we were dispersed. Moses said that we was going to do it. We did it. We should now get out of being surprised of why we are where we are. We should now be getting back to the law as the Ruach HaKodesh is here to wake us up for us to come back into knowing who we are. Then we have to know the law so that we can act who we are, so that we can truly be royalty, so that we can truly be the daughters of Zion. And it says, so even though she cannot go because she is still uncleansed, that someone will go to the door, just like with all of us. The priest went inside and made the atonement, and it shall be cleansed from the issue of her blood. This is the law for her that hath borne a male or a female. And if she be not able to bring a lamb, then she shall bring 2 turtles or 2 pigeons, the one of the burnt offering and the other of the sin offering. And the priest shall make an atonement for her, and she shall be clean. So we're talking pigeons, right?
Pigeon.
Yeah, that's what, turtle dove or pigeon. Yeah, young pigeon, So, which basically means nothing. There's no cost. A lamb may cost. A pigeon, you can lay down some things, grab his head, bring him to the priest, and you're cleansed. Basically, I'm just only giving light to that to state how the Father's make it easy for us to do our purification. How he's not going to make it grievous for us in any form or fashion. So now we're going to go on to, let me get this Luke right quick. And I don't really like going too far on that new, but so as a precept to what we just read, we want to go ahead to that second Luke, because he says it righteously.
I thought you liked it.
The Gospels I do, but these people, Jordan, it's a thing, man. I fight with it daily, brother. I've learned too much. I've read too much about who wrote what that,
Because
other than the Old Testament, it is real hard for me to give them any kind of credences. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's good to learn.
It is good to learn. That's why we read it, and that's why we bring it up, because if they're going to echo what the Old Testament said, then bring it on, baby. We don't care what your name is. So when we go to Luke chapter 2, verse 22, it says, let's go to 21. And when 8 days were accomplished for the circumcision of the child, his name was called Yasha, which was so named of the angel before he was conceived in the womb. So Yasha got circumcised, right? And salvation was the name that the angel gave him before he came out the womb. That's what we found in Isaiah, right? So then in 22 it says, and when the days of her purification according to the law of Moses were accomplished, they brought him to Jerusalem and present him unto the Most High. And it is written in the law of the Most High, every male that opened the womb shall be called holy unto the Most High. Mm, mm, mm. As it is written in the law of the Most High, every male that openeth the womb shall be called holy to the Most High, and to offer a sacrifice according to which is said the law of the Most High, a pair of turtle doves or 2 pigeons. So every man is to make a sacrifice unto the Most High that came from a woman. And he makes this sacrifice easy, a turtle dove or 2 pigeons. Not grievous, right? So let's go to Psalms 4.
Psalms 4?
Oh, yeah.
Do you like Psalms?
Hmm?
I know I
Oh,
do.
I love Psalms. Yes. Hey, Jordan, Chanel said you are smart, my brother. They like your answers. Mhm. So here we go. We're reading Psalms 4. And then after this, we're going to go to Psalms 1. I felt since we did birth and we're dealing with the woman and dealing with the food and the man and coming out with Yasha being circumcised, we should start at the base of Psalms. Very rarely do we read 1, but 1 was so short, straight to the point, that I was like, well, no, I want to do more than just that one. So we're going with Psalms 4. It says, to the chief musician of the Niganath, a psalm of David. Hear me when I call, O Most High of my righteousness. Thou hast enlarged me when I was in distress. Have mercy upon me and hear my prayer. O ye sons of men, how long will ye turn my glory into shame? So here, as the Father is saying, man, for the people that only are reading this word, that's not making it part of himself, that you bring shame to the word because you're only reading it to shoot arrows at it, or you're only reading it to get around the laws, statutes, and commandments, instead of breaking yourself and yoking yourself unto the Most High through his laws, statutes, and commandments. And it says, how long will ye love vanity and seek after leasing? Selah. And leasing is lying, as we did the other night. But know that the Most High hath set apart him that is goodly, godly for himself. The Most High will hear when I call unto him. Ooh. So the Most High will hear when I call unto him. Stand in awe and sin not. Consume with your own heart upon your bed and be still. That's what Shabbat is about. It's about not sinning and communing with your own heart upon your bed, meditating upon your actions, not what anybody else says or anybody else does, or what you feel what's been done. Shabbat and following these laws is about our personal walk with the Most High, our allegiance unto him, as his son came and told us the way to the Most High is through him. You have the naysayers that'll say, see, they tell you got to go through that Jesus. It's a Catholicism thing. Yasha didn't say that. Yasha said, I only say the words of the one that sent me. He said that I'm only telling you to follow me and to do as I have done. And that if you do as I have done, then you will assuredly do greater things than I, and you will be in the heavens with the Father. And that's the testimony that we're supposed to be walking with. The testimony isn't that I know he lived or I know he died. The testimony is that I walk in the walk he walked. I am every day killing my old man, killing my old woman, and I am trying to bring forth through reading and understanding of the new me, the new Jerusalem in me. Because it says you can sanctify yourself through these laws. That's what Leviticus just told us. Sanctify yourself in your Shabbat and be still, Selah. Offer the sacrifices of righteousness. So what sacrifices? Because we went through the fact that the sacrifices are done away with, right? So if a man that comes from a woman is to give this offering of a turtle dove or of 2 pigeons, then we understand that it is obedience over sacrifice. Most High made it real simple. I don't want to get too complicated with it. Obedience over sacrifice. The question is, we ain't got to sacrifice. What are we supposed to do? Obedience over sacrifice. Well, man, understand. Should I walk? Obedience. And what are we to be obedient unto? The laws, Leviticus. Sacrifice. Make the sacrifice to eat the right thing. Make the sacrifice to meditate upon him. Make the sacrifice to not do as thy wilt. To make the sacrifice to give a second ear to your brother, as the Most High, as they like to put in the books, what is said. I was watching this thing the other night when they were talking about John the Baptist being murked and getting his head chopped off by Antipas and them boys, right? Antipas Herod, right? And it said, so it's like, well, teach us to pray, right? And he says, well, look here. If a man should hit you on one cheek, then you give him the other cheek. And that's to your brothers and to your sisters. That is not to your oppressor. Your oppressor doesn't believe in what you believe, so your oppressor can't regurgitate. It can't. No reciprocity can be had. No reciprocity can be had from someone that is not following the same laws that you are following. If they tell you that the law is done away with, right, then this has to be done away with as well. How can I be a servitude unto you when you don't follow the law? I only turn my cheek to the ones that follow the law, because I know there was not an intent, that theirs was a slip up, theirs was a mishap, theirs was a bad day, there was whatever it was, but that ain't who they are. Hashatan, the oppressor, the adversary, has created an entire doctrine to state that the law is done away with so that they can oppress and maim and beat and enslave. It seems real simple to me, but I guess if you're only on the outside looking in, that these words may not make no sense to you. It may not make sense when he said that he is of the life and that you get everlasting waters of life from him. That he is the living. You may say, well, why would he say his name is I am? You say that's a silly thing. You're going to tell me some God came down and said his name is I am? Well, I am goes to living. I am means that I exist. It means that what you are dealing with, what you are walking with, walks with you. It adjusts as you adjust. As you come to it, it comes to you. You can use your law of attraction if you want to for this one. If you attract these laws, you attract the Most High. Huh? Say it one more time. My young brother says it almost sounds like wisdom. Khan. Yes, my brother. And it says, offer the sacrifices of righteousness and put your trust in the Most High. There be many that say, who will show us any good? They say the Nazareth thing, they say, what good thing can come out of Nazareth? No good thing can come out of Nazareth. But the best thing ever came out of Nazareth. So if people think that you can't get right, guess what? They don't know that when you start following these laws and statutes, that you're going to be the best you. That you are going to be an overcomer, overachiever in these laws. But see, there will be many who will say, there's no good of you, that you can't be changed, that you're too crooked to ever get right. But the Most High says that power. He says, only I can make crooked only I can make straight what is crooked. So it says, who will show us any good? Most High, lift up the light of thy countenance upon us. Thou hast put gladness in my heart more than in the time that their corn and their wine increased. So it says the joy that we get from following these laws and knowing that we cleanse, the feeling of cleanliness, the feeling of righteousness is greater than any material thing that we could have. It fills a hole, a void that money can't. It fills a hole that vanity can't fill. It fills the void of truth because there is no truth in this world. The only truth is the one that you walk in, that you know to be reality. That's what truth is. Truth is your reality that you know what happens come to fruition. Now, you may have a lot of enablers around you that may allow you to be who you are and not tell you that you're in error. But the Most High will. And if you don't seek Him, you will see things disappear. He said, I'm trying to tap on your door to let you hear, trying to wrap a taste to you. But you're going to see things disappear, especially in this hour where the economy is going down. Many of you, I don't want to be in a position that something happens to me bad as what's going to happen in this economy, and I got to wonder, did I do the right thing? I want to be at a position of peace, Jordan, where I know I've done everything that I could possibly do and know that they got mercy and grace stored for me because I have been righteous. Because I may not have an answer where my meal is going to come from. I may not know if I'm going to be able to survive this day, this night, or this particular tense situation with a vaccine and a gun. I don't know if I'm going to make it out of this. The only peace that I'm going to have is knowing that I follow these laws to the best of my ability. That when my flesh goes to testify against me, like Moses brought the earth and the heavens to testify against us, well, it says in our book that when we die, it is us, our actions that's going to testify against us. Well, I want my actions to be able to say, the boy tried, he might be stupid, the boy might have been slow, but the boy earnestly with his whole heart, he's circumcised to the fullest. He's so circumcised that he was afraid that he was going to lose a heart and get waxed cold to you ignorant ones out here. Because some of y'all really push the level of patience and righteousness. Really try to uncover the old man. But he ain't there. He ain't there. He ain't there. So the streets, if you're watching as you always are, I just pray on you. I just pray on you. You can call this book demonic. You can say we leading our people crazy. But until you read this book and walk in these moccasins of Yasha and know his testimony and know his truth, man, you just throwing little stones, pebbles at the kingdom. You just throwing pebbles at the castle, homie. You better hope one day that the one that's Yah, the Most High, that's over our castle, he don't send his son Yasha to go and deal with your pebbles. That's what you better pray for. It is. So now we're going to go, and it says, verse 7, thou hast put gladness in my heart, more than in the time that their corn and their wine increase. I will both lay down in peace and sleep, for thou, the Most High, only makest me dwell in safety. Only the Most High can have you dwell in safety. Only the Most High. No man, no woman. You know? Yeah, my brother. Yep, he dealing went earnestly. Yes, my brother Yawan. And my brother said, you know, he's going to follow these laws even as hard as he can and die trying, because at the end of the day, man, you know, he is the judge. And as it said in when we read in in the Psalm 12, the mercies. You know, Barak, I'm talking about in Baruch 84. He says that we all gotta pray that he is judging by his mercies, his many mercies. Because if not, woe to all of us that didn't have birth, right? Then came on to this physical plane. Real talk. So Psalms 1, we're going to break it down to the beginning, to the first time David wanted to. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly. Can we say the unclean? Blessed is the man, Barakas is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the unclean, nor standeth in the way of sinners. So it said, don't stand in their way. Let them be what they be. Nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. Ooh. This is the first line of Psalms. This is the first line. Like, when you think about when you got to sit back and write an essay, or you got to write your will, or you got to write something that you got to make to the masses, and everybody got to hear it and feel it. I mean, Psalms 1 ain't got but 6 verses. I want y'all to really take in the magnitude of this. The first prayer that David is writing to the Most High, only got 6 verses. It's the first one. So it's really what he wants us to fully understand. Like, if you don't get nothing else, let me start off with this. That Barakas is the man that walketh not in the counsel of ungodly, the unclean, nor standeth in the way of sinners, don't be in their light, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful, being angry and scorning people, right? But his delight is in the law. So the second line, Jordan, the second verse right after that, right? But his delight is in the law of the Most High, and in his law doth he meditate day and night. Ooh. So Shabbat is for meditation. We talked about the prayer. If I've got to pray over the food that I'm going to kill to then clean, I'm praying over my body that I didn't kill this animal, I didn't clean the animal. Unless you're vegetarian, you're still praying because you're being thankful for the fact that you got these vegetables, right? So you're praying to prepare your food. You're praying before you eat the food because you're thinking about what you're going to eat. So you're sacrificing your choices. You're already following. You're already in the law. You're already meditating. You're already praying when you're making a decision on what you're going to eat. Then when you decide to eat that kosher meal, that righteous meal, your preparation is full of prayer. All the way up until when you eat it, then you give thanks that you done got it. Then at night, you're giving thanks for your day. That morning you wake up, you give thanks for your breath. You are constantly praying, unceasingly praying when you are giving thanks. When you are walking in this walk, in his testimony. No, your testimony ain't that you know Jesus, you know Yasha. That ain't your testimony. Your testimony is walking the way the man walked, to love the way he loved, to say the word that he said. To not follow your own flesh and be scared of yourself, because the Most High said, only in him do you dwell safely every night. No man has afforded you safety. No woman has afforded you safety. No government has afforded you safety. Nobody has afforded you this grace and mercy but the Most High. It says, delight in his law. And in his law doth he meditate day and night. So we meditating on him. We praying on our food. We giving thanks for the food. We giving thanks for our breath. We giving thanks for the day that we had. Well, guess what? We are unceasingly giving praise. And he shall be like a tree planted in the rivers of water. Waters get what? Y'all, does the waters get hurricane-like? Huh? Does the waters get typhoon-like? Does the waters get rough? Does the waters get calm? Does the waters get still? Do the waters dies in the Dead Sea? What John the Baptist was baptizing everyone. We brought everyone to put their head in the Dead Sea to kill your old man. Oh, yes. He was not in the river Jordan, in the mud. He was in the Dead Sea, where everything is cleansed and sterile. It is cleansed. Nothing can live in it. It is cleansed. It is clean. He baptizes you to kill your old man in the Dead Sea. Everything has a meaning. Everything has a meaning. Your existence is a meaning. But here, it says that if you meditate in them laws, you shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. That's your prosperity preaching right there, right? That's your T.D. Jakes. That's your Joel Osteen. Cleflo Dollar. Well, it didn't say nothing about bringing them money. That's odd though, right? Because they preach about prosperity. You got to give it to them. It says follow the law. It didn't say nothing about tithing. It said follow the law. Obedience over sacrifice. And it says that you will bring forth fruit. Not that you're going to bring them fruit, but that you will bring forth fruit. That your leaves will not wither, and that you shall prosper. He says, the ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away. Hurricane winds, 100 miles per hour. I'm going to need y'all to get that devil out of me. I'm going to need y'all to get that devil from around me. In me, out me, around me, beside me, on top of me, anywhere around the house of time ride. I'm going to need it to go like the shape. You know what I'm talking about? Since we said we don't sin, every man is a sinner, right? So we want that ungodliness in us to be like chaff, which the wind driveth away. Therefore, the ungodly, the unclean, shall not stand in the judgment. Oof. So somebody unclean can't judge you. So you shouldn't turn your cheek to somebody that can't judge you. If the ungodly, the unclean cannot judge, then that means they're judging unjustly. That means that they're judging by vanity. They're not judging by the Most High. So every court in this land is of vanity. You're not supposed to turn your face, your cheek to them. You're not supposed to allow them to continue to do unto you as they will. And it says, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteousness. So sinners in the congregation, even if you is of us, even if you being God, but you sinning, you living different, you get no judgment. You are ungodly. You are being unrighteous. You are being a sinner. It says, for the Most High knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly, the unclean, shall perish. Whew. All praises. That's our readings for the night. My brother, young Jordan, is hung in tight, but he's like, I'm tired too. Iman, thank you for Iman. I'm glad that you enjoyed the show tonight. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. I pray that everybody's got an ear to hear and an eye to see that following the law is about being clean in the Most High. That the Most High created the law so that we know how to cleanse ourselves, so that we know what is the difference between clean and unclean. That's all that he wants. That's the only reason for the law. It is not to chastise us. It is for us to know in the midst of the hurricane where we should anchor ourselves. Where do we anchor ourselves? We anchor ourselves in the law. The law will not lead us wrong, will not lead us astray. Man, it was an awesome night. I really enjoyed tonight. Iman, Chanel in the building, Yuan, the Shine in the building, my brother Aaron in the building. I'm going to have to go back and read these comments. I really couldn't read too many because I was feeling it with the Most High tonight, but I want to, let me see if I can pull up a song to end off the night with. Good. Amos 3 and 3.
We gonna play us a song?
Yeah, we're going to play us Amos 3 and 3. Yeah.
GoPuff is your go-to solution for immediate, everyday needs.
If we
TP.
wonder what puts us on one accord, what thing puts us Amos 3 and 3 is the law. So we're going to play that down.
Hey, Shad, I was thinking, what's that? The problem with Israel is we're not on one accord.
Allah, thank
How
you,
can
my
we
brother
build?
Aram,
How can we
man.
grow?
Oh, praise
If we're not Amos 3 and
Esther,
3.
thank
That's
you,
right.
Esther.
Can you grab that for me?
You know, it was a little
God.
touchy dealing with the
Amos 3 and 3.
old men
Can
disciples.
two
You know, they
walk
want to step
together
on the lady's
except they
toes,
be agreed?
but I think the Most High forgot in our words, and us decreases, and the Most High increases, right? Through Yahweh we do all things, so we got the testimony because we walk in His fault. Through Him we do all things. Oh, praise.
I ride around my juice. They all think like me. We all stick
Yeah,
to the
you want.
scripts.
One more Aaron now, baby.
I look out for my juice. They looking out for me. They power, that's my power. Amos 3 and 3. Get it. Amos, 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 Amos 3 and 3. Amos, Amos, Amos,
Hey, P, let me jump this off for you.
Amos, Amos, Amos,
I'm yakking out.
My shoes.
That dude's up yakking out under the Shalom right now, but I should
How
have
you really bless me when they link me up with these Jews? Put up 2 pump 3, gas it up. 3 on 3, let's hoop it up. Everybody trying to figure out what happened, bro. How'd you get a divorce and you happier? With that Amos 3, I studied, realized did something I should never did. They said, Shaw, you should drop you a solo. Sorry, ma'am, I already did twice. Go listen to them over there. Dirty said that boy nice. I'm just doing my own thing. Pop 3's from that color like I'm and rice. I'ma stick right to this truth, I'ma stand. Raven gonna be right here too with her Dan. Always been down for a fight, never ran. I'ma beat y'all to kick out your tribe like Dan. They can be like, damn, Dan, you with no vans. Want me at your show, pay the advance. I ain't never trust them boys, never had. I ain't never trust them, never had. When they finally hear shot, they say he's something else. Now they scrolling through my songs cause they need them something else. Yeah, I did a lot of features cause I knew them songs need help. Now the hood niggas ride with me cause it's all truth and nothing else.
I ride my juice. We all think like me. We all stick to the scripts. Amos 3 and 3. I look out for my juice. They looking out for me. They power, that's my power.
All my
Amos
Judas
3
in
and
the
3.
building.
Get it. Amos, 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 doing the words.
Doing the word.
Amos, Amos.
Yeah, what's the word? Following the law.
Amos,
Making your work fit the law.
Amos,
The word.
Amos, Amos 3 and 3.
Ride around my Judas. Don't mean no scary, yeah. Bunch of foolish drama we don't care about. Haters talk big like Vince gon' bail 'em out. Straight jokes like hair tie. Licking like Comedy Central. Is that opinion not scripture? Read my lips like a Kindle. Trying to keep it simple. Hebrews forsaking the law, get the Jinsu. Bros got their hair wrapped like Hindus. Selling out like Esau with Lintu. Wow. Looking vain like church folk. They hang sell, we serve roll. Third row, rep third coast. Thinking we playing, think this a game. Watch I run until I get turtle. Nowadays I'm on road tribe. If you ever heard, I got my swerve on. Yeah. Ain't stopped yet. The real Jews in the projects. Been in that water, no Loch Ness. Bruce bouncing back like a hot chick. Beat the concept, this ain't a contest. When I see that strike, no comment. All glory to a high, I'ma praise his name. Military trained like Major Payne. Put out the old man, had to change my ways. 25D tent like the Ace of Spades. Banging truth music in the turning lane. Bring it to your dome like a tape.
I ride my juice. They all think like me. We all stick to the scripts. Amos 3 and 3. I look out for my juice. They looking out for me. They power, that's my power. Amos 3 and 3. Get it. Amos, Amos, Amos,
Man, I pray,
Amos,
man, that all y'all enjoying this night, man. We know how we get you by, right? We don't cook.
Amos,
For the 24 hours, we don't spend any money.
Amos,
We are meditating upon the Most High and His law.
My niggas, my Judas, my rounds. The people that's gon' hold me down. Your Judas gon' vote for the best. My Judas gon' let off a round. No, we're not always together. Really, rarely together we're found. When we come together, it's like the Planeteers. The captain is always around. Everybody stays in their lane. In they square and they frame. We move around for nobody. No elder, no capper, no dame. Them other cats be unstable. Double-minded, talking driven. They say we follow Judas. do is fables. Misguided and we Satan's children. Stick to stones may break my bone, but words will never hurt me. Unless it's Abba's word, but I obey them, so he will never desert me. So if you dig a hole, you gon' fall in it. I read that in the Davis track. Oh, I get it, he's Goliath. We come with the spirit that David had. So no uncircumcised Philistine, no Hebrew pump fearing me. Trust I'm a problem by myself, but look, I pride my peers with. They think like I think, make your group look like in sync. Can't everybody get down with my crew? You gotta qualify like that seems. But why could that be our recruiter? She put the death out intruders. And when you sleep that long sleep, them demons come Freddy Krueger. So real Judas stay repairing our foundation concrete. We don't preach, we walk in unity. Mr. Amos,
ride through my G's. They all think like me. We all stick to the scripts. Amos 3 and 3. I look out for my Jews. They looking out for me. They power, that's my power. Amos 3 and 3. Get it. Amos, 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 Amos.
I pray y'all have a beautiful
Amos 3 and 3. Amos,
glad y'all enjoyed the lesson. All praise. We'll see y'all on Monday. Y'all get y'all some rest. Meditate on the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Just give him the love that he deserves. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. That's right. Shalom. Say good night, Jordan.